You want to fight crime? Let's get dangerous.
And yes, it is. And we're back. It's another Saturday. And welcome to another episode from the Deso Small Press Publisher. I'm your host, Joe D. McPhee here. We might have a very short show today because why? We didn't have our Whatnot show today. We're going to postpone it until tomorrow because there was other household stuff that needed to be done during the time frame that I normally use to set up everything behind me here for the Whatnot show. So I couldn't really do it at 5 p.m. like I normally would. So we're going to try to shoot for tomorrow at 6:30 instead. So hopefully the time shift doesn't impede those who would normally tune in to buy books from me and everything to that magnitude. But we're still going to have it and everything. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's episode, let's go ahead and take care of the business end of things like we always do at the very beginning of the show. Let's not forget about Stupid O'Clock being 1 hour into the show. That's if we go into a second hour. You could catch that on their channel at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that show is followed up immediately right after by Last Man Standing at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you get a little bit of a respite until Monday morning. And that is Monday at 10 a.m. You get Nicholas Tockert on his channel with Nevermind the Furthermore. And just to let you guys know here, there will not be any Comic Book Spectrum until January 9th. We are taking a little bit of hiatus for the holiday season here. Not everybody is able to make shows here during this time. So at this point, we're going to take a small little hiatus here. We're going to reconvene back together on January 9th. So from this last episode, from this past Thursday into January 9th, there's no Comic Book Spectrum. So we're going to have a few weeks where you're going to be missing us here. I believe it's either 3 or 4 weeks here. But we will be back January 9th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And without further ado, let's go ahead and deal what we normally deal with very real quick here. And it is a short one this time around, but we do have some, and that is new comic book pickups for the week. And here we all right. We just have a very, very, very tiny stack compared to all the other ones that we have for comic book pickups for the week. So let's get to it here. Starting off, we ended up getting another copy of issue number 1 of America. This is one of the incentive covers. I forgot which one it is, but that is issue number 1 variant and a issue number 2 variant here. This is issue 2 variant as well. So those came in the mail this week here. And then I got a couple auction things here. We ended up getting some more of Beware the Claws of the Cat. This one here is going to be kind of sort of a Christmas present that I made the person aware of it as of right now. So they will be getting this as a whole here. Only reason why is because I ended up getting 2 of them. So I have another one here plus another copy of issue number 4. I really don't like the double bag and board, but I'll deal with that a little bit later here. And then we got another copy of Incredible Hulk 168 here. So that means that I got two more that I could pretty much send to be graded. I have to figure out which out of the ones that I still got left that are still raw, which ones are good enough to get clean pressed and sent over to CGC here. We got another Star Wars Empire Dark Horse issue number 16. This might be coming, be in our whatnot sale a little bit later on today here. Well, by the time that you watch it, the whatnot sale will be over with, but this might be in that whatnot sale here. And we got a Lobo number 1 that came in today, so we got that as a whole here. And that is the comic book pickups for the week. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the studio. We're going to talk about the whatnot sale that happened today and other stuff that's coming down the pike here for the Christmas holidays. So back to the studio as of right now. And there you have it. That was comic book pickups for the week here. And to be quite honest, we did, like I said, we didn't have the whatnot show today, so I don't have my closing thoughts for the end of the year. And it's weird because this year, for some reason, Christmas and New Year's is right there, smack dab in the middle of the week. So I can't do like my normal stuff for like Christmas and New Year's. I can't do like a Christmas live stream or Christmas Eve live stream or a New Year's Eve live stream going into the next day, going to like a New Year's Day and stuff to that magnitude. Well, technically I can, but it's not like having a weekend or it being like, or like Christmas being like on a Monday where it's like, okay, I still got like, maybe like I could figure out something to deal with that Tuesday having a normal 9 to 5 type job. But middle of the week, it's weird because it's like, okay, it's a holiday, but that coming into that Thursday, it's like it's going to be heck to pay to get up and do whatever you need to do, as opposed to like a, if it was on a Sunday, Sunday to a Monday or Monday holiday going into a Tuesday. I mean, the perfect storm would be like, new like Christmas Eve would be like a Thursday. You have that Friday off, and then you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have the extra days of rest before you go back into back into the 9 to 5 job and everything to that magnitude. But normally like with like New Year's Eve, we normally do like our whole gaming thing, so we can't really do that this year. I might, if enough people twist my arm, we might do something like that. Play some games live on stream here. I can't do anything like that's PlayStation 4 related or anything to that magnitude, so we're going to be stuck with the laptop and everything to that magnitude if we do the normal New Year's Eve type deal. Also, we're running close to the gun as far as Primetime Saturday Night number 5. We're over 30. We're over halfway done. We're over 30 pages done here. It just, for some reason, I've been kind of dragging my feet on the second tag team match for this issue here, because the matchup is a little bit weirder than normal, and to really capitalize on the people that's there, and then I have to like free up hard drive space on the main laptop to actually do a lot of the rendering and everything here to keep from inadvertent crashing and everything. So I've been like doing like a lot of the maintenance and upkeep of stuff to that magnitude, and it just it kind of ruins creativity. It's like when I'm in that mode of just create, I could knock a good number of pages out in a week. But lately with the Christmas holidays and that shift from Thanksgiving to Christmas, is just like it's just been like one of those things where it's like too much stuff happening here as a whole, trying to get other people's stuff together where I can't be as creative here. Normally it's like people would say, it's like, well, don't go to stores, don't get other things organized, don't help with that and don't help with that. It's like, you can't do that. It's like you have to get everything in order where you can be free from any type of stress and strain and everything. So that's been impeding my process here. But the good thing about it is that in those times I've been, because of you guys that been watching the show, I've been back drawing sketch covers and everything to that magnitude, and that got my juices going to wanting to do the Amazonian number 8 here. Now, can I get that done before C2E2 and get good old the good old tablet back up and running before I could do the digital inking and everything? Probably so. Would I hold my breath on it? Probably not. My main goal here is, it's like the two main goals that I wanted to get done was I wanted to move forward on the role-playing game for primetime Saturday night, but the major thing that's happening there is the ISBN number. And having the money for the ISBN number is going to be a problem, because it's not just a matter of just buying one. I might have to end up buying 5 at one time. And the reason for that is that each incarnation and each medium you touch has to have its own ISBN number. So if we go ahead and publish it as a book, the digital version have to have an ISBN number. The actual physical version have to have an ISBN number. If we do a paperback version of it, that has to have its own unique number. And then if we do anything like special packaging or anything to that magnitude for the game itself, that has to have its own unique number. So it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. And then finding a actual decent book printer that could do hardcover. That's the other thing. It's like, we got different places that, amongst, us who publish comics, that we could go and publish something of that magnitude as far as a graphic novel, a softcover graphic novel. But if you want a nice hardcover book, you have to go to the places that actually do hardcovers, and it's not going to be cheap. Getting those books printed, that type of book printed, is not going to be cheap. And I want to keep, if we release it, I want to keep the game relatively affordable. And when you say relatively affordable, I'm looking at maybe not charging no more than $35 a book. My goal originally was, it's a $20, $19.99 type purchase for just a normal hardcover or normal softcover book. But because of the price points of getting stuff printed now, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so. And the reason being is that, one, the print run for something like that would be costly. Second, running out of storage space in the storage area for something of that magnitude. I mean, I could make some room for actual hardcover books, but we're going to have to be like hitting the ground running and really pushing the hardcover and books. And then on top of that, the quick play, we might have to have the ISBN number and a quick play version of it that might be comic book size like this. We'll probably do it like a comic book size like this, but it's a lot of stuff to take in consideration. And I know that the person that we worked with, which within Lockdown Games, I'm very appreciative of him and how he kind of guided me through this, because to me, this is going to be a big monster release, and it ties into what he's trying to do in the bigger long run of it. The formatting is what's causing most of the problems here, because I see it one way. I have to go back and research how gaming manuals actually look. I have gotten feedback on how it looks up to this point. I'm still putting in like all the nice little bells and whistles and everything to that magnitude. We created a actual little fun module to go along with the hardcover book. The quick play would just be like the quick instruction guide, which I think, he was like, well, just go ahead and put that out. let's see what we can do. But even if I did that, I still need to get the ISBN number, because I wouldn't treat it like this, because I have USPC codes that I could attach to something like this. If we did it in like a comic format, I have that in hand, but I really want to treat it more like an actual book, and then that way we could probably get it a little bit further. And when I say a little bit further, we could actually approach things like libraries and places like that, where they could carry the game itself. Instead of doing like donations, it would be something that we could do, facilitate purchase orders and stuff to that magnitude, and make it available that way for, public libraries, private libraries, stuff to that magnitude. Even like college gaming clubs and stuff like that, they could come to us, and we'll figure something out. But it is worthwhile for us to get that final version of the hardcover done, where we're happy and we're ready to go and get it all nice and edited and ready, so we can say, okay, now we're going to go find a printer who could probably give us anywhere between like 250 to 500 off the top at a decent price. And if we could find that and get that done, I mean, I really want to print more than that, but that's kind of like where I'm at this point, just for a trial run. We might have to scale back the trial run to maybe like 100 to 50. I don't know. But my gut feeling, if I was to do it right with the right type of money behind it, we would probably do like a print run of maybe 2,000. And then that's assuming that we had the proper facilities to store it and all this other stuff here. It would be about 2,000 that we would have for the first run of it, and then we will just try to sell through all of that as a whole here. But it is what it is, and it's kind of like one of those things that's like we've been pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off, and then as I work with Primetime Saturday Night, the series, we're adding more and more new characters, and now I have to add them into the guide, the player's guide, or I should say the GM guide. Give them the listing, the background, and everything to the characters and everything to that magnitude, and do their character pages and everything, and have it ready to go. Fortunately, we've been slowing down on the creation of new wrestlers and everything, so that's been a blessing in disguise. But everyone that has made an appearance in Primetime Saturday Night is going to be in the role-playing game, plus a couple more, plus one more wrestler and one more supporting character, I believe. I'm not certain if the supporting character is going to be there, but the actual wrestler will be. And I know that for a fact, because I actually created that character sheet and did most of the mock-up already. So we're getting there. And I just thank you guys for your patience here. And as I was stating here, it's like, I was holding up the sketch cover books and this, that, and the other. I was, before the show, I was filling out the CGC forms for I could get these sketch covers graded and everything, for I could get like the get everything taken care of as far as the gold labeled graded books here as an artist, for all the sketch covers I did. Cause I know I got 4. That's like I did 4 so far. The 2 Doomazonia covers, the big Barda and Bliss here on the Powerpuff Girls Halloween special. And there's still a whole bunch more, because and I can show it to you. I can show it to you here, because we still got blank covers here. We got, I don't think I'm going to do a Transformers one right now, but I do have Transformers available, and the 2 G.I. Joe ones and everything to that magnitude here, and ready to go to do some actual sketches and get them all nice and colored up and in Prismacolor and everything to that magnitude. Which brings me to another quandary that I have here, and I bought my first 2 Copic markers, by the way. My first 2, and both of them are the same color. They're brick white. And the thing that I'm finding out now is that there's not a pure white marker. anymore. And it's like I'm finding that out. It's like I'm up there looking for Prismacolor. It's like Prismacolor does not make a white marker. Copic technically does not make a white marker. And I was like, I wonder why they don't make a white marker out of all colors. Like for example, it's like I keep looking at what I did for this here. Now what I did to try to bring out the white a little bit more is that I use like like a in this case because I just bought the Copic ones, I used the brick white to lay it down, to lay down all the white areas down, and then I went with like either a Prismacolor or a Crayola color pencil, which is the color white, and went over it to try to bring it out a little bit more to get it away from like the dullness that happens when you color on like an off colored sketch cover, to kind of bring the white out. And to me, it's like I see that it's white, but it's not the white that I want. I want that brilliant, like you know that it's you're looking at the color white as opposed to something that's kind of like getting muted out because of the color of the cover here. So like for example here, this down here does not look as bright like that up there, and I wanted to get it to like that type of brightness. But again, trying to find the right type of marker for that is kind of hard, and it's just really weird in that aspect as far as trying to get those things right. And also learning how to blend between marker and color pencil it's not hard, but it's time consuming. It is very time consuming because you have to like lay down the marker first and then kind of do your pencil work over it. So it's almost like your marker has to get absorbed in by the actual cardstock or page that you're working on, and then you have to do whatever pencil work on top of it to kind of get it to blend exactly the right way here. I wish there was more things I could do to get it more brilliant. When I say brilliant, I'm talking about brighter. The only thing that I could think of is either, try to go with like an acrylic, with an acrylic marker or acrylic type of white paint marker, which I really don't want to do. Or, just try, other tricks of the trade here to see what I can do to kind of like make it more brilliant in that aspect. But like I said, it gets time consuming, and I was like, I want to move on to the next project in that aspect here. So we have that cataloging the catalog collection. Because of the weather and everything, we're probably going to start putting that on hold here. So my trips to storage might be put on hold until maybe the spring here, which means that I got frees up some time to do some more artwork and to do some more drawing and everything, which is a good thing here. Will I open myself up for commissions during this time? Probably not. And the only reason I say probably not, because commission is really time consuming. And when I say time consuming, because you want to do commissions to the way that the person who's hiring you likes it, unless they're like a diehard fan of your work, and that they trust your judgment, and you trust their judgment. And if they gave you a particular topic to work on, you should be a-okay and golden. But in a lot of aspects here, I just try my best just to do what I can, here. I mean, simple stuff like one character stuff, I might say, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it, and do it at a very nominal fee. But it is what it is. But I'm not going to say, hey, everybody, I'll open up for commissions and everything. And as far as Whatnot is concerned, like I said before, tomorrow will be our last Whatnot show for the year. We're not going to do it the week of Christmas or the week before Christmas, because everybody got to do their Christmas shopping and all this other stuff here. But if there is books that we have shown up to this point here that's in our show, let me know. I will, allow you to buy them outside of Whatnot and everything to that magnitude, and we'll get them shipped out to you. But I am looking forward to 2025. 2025, I'm going to try to make more of a push to sell our own creative own stuff on Whatnot. Try to highlight it a little bit more and talk more about that, as well as some of the other books that I'm selling off in storage here. Speaking of which, I think I showed you guys the last time that I had like a third printing of House of Sorry. I found my first printing in storage now, so it's like, I'm adding that to the pile of stuff that I need to send to CGC, here shortly. But it is what it is. Everything is coming along swimmingly. It's just going to be more of a money issue here, and I definitely need to put money away. I'm at the point of my life here where, as you get closer to the big 5-0, you start thinking about retirement. You start thinking about, what am I going to do after dealing with, the regular 9-to-5 job and all this other stuff. And, getting your health in order, getting, having the savings and everything for when you do retire and you start getting your pension and everything here. What shows that you really going to try to make it, and, in the years, not just while you're still working, but afterwards, because doing shows after you retire, you have the time to do it, but do you have the financial means to do it? That's the other thing. And, dealing with, regular life things here, you have to put everything in its proper perspective. Working for self is different than working for somebody else, because why? There's no one else that you could blame when you're working for self. If something is not going right, there's nobody else to blame but yourself. You can't say that, oh yeah, such and such over here didn't pay me for this. It's like, no, you didn't do what you needed to do to make the money to make that happen. What you going to do about it? Those are the types of things that you have to like really start thinking about. And like I said, I have to start putting money aside and start really buckling down on a couple of things here. With that being mentioned here, that really going to kind of curtail like a lot of the extra stuff that I probably going to, roll back on. So like, for example, like a lot of the series and stuff that people mention to me that is like, hey, check it out, I probably got to be like, nope, can't do it. Especially the older type stuff. And then as I'm going through my collections, I'm actually seeing that I have, little different holes and pockets in those collections, and I'm going to fill those in. But if it's not if I could say a title that I'm really a fan of, it's going to be hard pressed for me to pick up newer titles now, because I have to roll things back. For example, if I really start getting back into X-Men, it's like Uncanny. If I start doing Uncanny X-Men again, it's like I have to pick it up. And I was like looking at my list here from like, volume 4 and 5 that I have to pick up. It's odds and end issues here, but those are, I know, volume 4, volume 5, and maybe volume 6 are series that I have not completed. And yes, I have all of volume 1 and all of volume 2, and it's just like kind of like one of those things that's like, I just can't get it all, but I could limit myself to like, hey, I'm going to make certain that the Wonder Woman runs is still going and is still complete. Catwoman and some of these other ones, but it's just, once you make that choice here, anything else is considered extraneous. If you can get it, you can get it. If you can't, you can't. Just recently, I rolled back on anything that was on Gargoyles because I wasn't really enjoying it. I wasn't really reading it. It's like I'm looking at how G.I. Joe is now, and if it's still constantly going to branch out into all these different versions of G.I. Joes, I might have to roll back on that. Say it's like, hey, I don't want all these different miniseries, dealing with all the individual characters. I don't want. It's like I just can't afford it because I need to put money aside to start the move towards retirement now. And yeah, I am actually that close. I'm actually that close, not by age, but by number of years of service here. So I am that close where I could make the jump with full benefits here within the next couple of years. So that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up here and telling you guys about it, because it's something that people need to think about. It's like we all go through different stages in our lives, especially when you, like I said, when you have a job, you're up here trying to make what you love. Like, for example, with me making comic books, your primary job here, and making that transition and trying to make certain that you have money to pay the bills and this, that, and the other without struggling. Yeah, having that 9 to 5 job and doing what you can to maintain it. And if you get lucky enough to have a job that gives you a pension if you do so many years, or have a job where you could have like retirement benefits or benefits like 401ks or 457s or something to that magnitude, it goes a long way, because once you stop doing that and you reach that that age and that qualification where stuff is going to be guaranteed to you, it ease your burden for living. It ease your burden of cost of living and everything to that magnitude, where you don't have to worry as much. You still need to bring in income, but you don't have to worry as much as far as a lot of the bills and stuff is concerned. But you have to put yourself in the proper position to do so. You just can't run out there and be like, oh, I could early retire and do what I want. It's like, but if you do that, and if you don't have the proper savings and you don't have all this other stuff, you're just causing yourself a little bit more misery than anything else, because it's going to keep that extra stress and strain. It's going to keep you away from doing what you love. So that's the only reason why we're talking about that now, is because I'm just letting you guys know. It's like, this is where my mindset is at right now, because, being so many years out from where I can make that choice to walk away, I'm up there. It's like, for me to make that transition from being in a computer industry environment and 100% full in comic book industry, it's less than it's less than half. No, I shouldn't say less than half. Just a little bit, just about a half a decade away for me. It's about half a decade away. Now, is that excellent? Yes. Why? Because I'll still be young enough to really be effective in it. But at the same time, I still have responsibilities to be able to take care of myself, to make sure to pay bills, to to live life. I cannot do this and sponge off of other people. You have to be accountable for your own actions. You have to, like some people say, you have to put on those big boy pants and do what you got to do. And comics is not a hustle. It really isn't. It is a career choice. It's not just a hustle. It's a career choice. You have to understand where you can make the best bang for your buck and how you can make money here. So that means that you have to pay attention to what commission offers that comes your way, what other offers that comes your way as far as writing and drawing and all this other stuff. Because if you really want to put your work out there, you're going to have to make certain that the means are there. And if the means are not there, guess what? You're going to have to go back over here. And when I say over here, I'm doing my hands like that, which means outside job. You're not going to be 100% focused on the artwork and everything like you want. You're still going to be in the same predicament. So if you're near retirement and have pension or have means to take care of yourself, just make certain that you have the right money set aside where you don't have to worry. And when I say don't have to worry, I mean, you're like, for example, you don't have to worry about, electric bill, gas bill, rent, stuff to that magnitude, because the pension or whatever retirement benefits will pay for that portion of it. you will need to then focus on, okay, now since I know that that's taken care of, how can I make the most money over here with the stuff that I have already published? And do I put myself out there as far as doing other commissions to keep, to keep ends going? Because like I said, doing shows are not cheap. If you wanted to go to like Emerald City, you still have to worry about airfare or car fare, hotel, booth cost or table cost, food, lodging, whether or not you're going to have other people help you because you have to take care of them while they're there and everything to that magnitude. You have to pay for pay for their admission and everything because again, exhibitors badges are a premium at that point. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of expense on top of taking care of home. So it's just one of those things. And then if you are a parent, it's even worse because now you have to make certain that your kids are taken care of, everything at the house is taken care of. Somebody's there to watch over them while you're gone, stuff to that magnitude. So life can get in the way. So it's always good to prepare now. So when you get to that point, you could breathe a little bit more of sigh of relief because you'd be like, okay, I have this, I have that, I have that. Now I just need to wait until this kicks in before I go full-fledged into it and be like, yeah, we're ready. We're going to get this going and we're going to get this done and we're going to take care of everything here. So that's kind of like my self-pep talk for tonight here because dealing with a lot of the household stuff here because I'm seeing up here, right now it's like, dealing with a lot of stuff that were broken, stuff that needs to be fixed, stuff that are just finally now getting up and running, and we're going to end up using from this point forward. And it's still more to do. It's still more to do. It's still a lot. It's like holidays around my neck of the woods. There's a lot of cleaning, a lot of fixing of stuff, a lot of getting things in order, and then after it's gone, it's like we're back to the normal standpoint and everything here. But it is what it is here. Now, a couple of things that I do need to double check here, and like I stated before, I'm not happy with things that are getting shipped out now because I know I shipped a couple of things over the last couple of days here. One thing that I did ship out, I'm finding out is being held, and I don't know why it's being held, but I'm about to go ahead and check that now while I'm live with you guys here because it's kind of like fresh on my mind here. But the thing about it is that the person who I ship the information to, they have the tracking number, they have everything, and they see what I see here. And I'm just kind of like bummed because, like I said, I'm trying to get things done before the holidays, the actual holiday actually hits here, before Christmas actually arrives. And then having something that I bought via Amazon where I paid expedited shipping on, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, if you don't get it by Christmas, then you could apply the following day for a refund. And I was like, but I was supposed to have it 2 days ago. I was supposed to have that 2 days ago. What's going on, and there was no other way that I could argue the fact that it's like, then what's the whole purpose of me paying expedited shipping for? I could have paid regular shipping. I could pay regular shipping, and that would have been it. But it is what it is. I just wish I could, in a way, for a season and a holiday where we're supposed to be at our happiest here. Huh. It still does say it does say that it's there. It says that it's in transit. Okay, so now I know what to tell them. I now know what to tell them and everything. So please excuse me for that pause there because according to what I just saw as far as the tracking is saying that it's arriving late, and I kind of wish that they would have gave people a little bit more of a heads up here. But it is Christmas time and people are sending things left and right and everything to that magnitude. I'm just like I said, I'm happy that I got my two new Copic markers, and these are my first two ever owned Copic markers. I know other people have Copic markers and they swear by them. I'm more of a Prismacolor guy, but I'm happy I got that. But the other thing that I bought through Amazon hadn't showed up as of yet, and I'm about to get ready to order something else via the mail. I'm just trying to wait closer to when I get paid again before I actually purchase it, and then I know that it will come after Christmas, and everything should the rust and everything should be pretty much okay. But you know, life just has a way of doing that. The life of an art. I don't want to say it that way because I don't see myself as a pure artist. I want to say it in a way that I understand that life can get in the way of being creative. It can put you in the mood. It can put you in that mood where you're so focused on everything else that you can't put pencil to paper, or if you do have time to put pencil to paper, your mind is blank. You don't feel anything from doing X, Y, and Z. It becomes more like a task instead of enjoyment, and that feeling is never good, especially when you have ideas brimming and you got worlds that you have created and you're trying to expand upon it and put your best foot forward. It just ain't going to happen in that aspect when you're bogged down by life. So you know try your best, and that's what I say, try your best to not let those things in life keep you from those endeavors that keeps you nice and healthy and aware. And with me, doing the comic book thing, creating the worlds and all the other stuff, that keeps me nice, happy, and aware. Yeah, there's a lot of distractions here, that can help you cope with what's going on with life. Like in my case, like video games from time to time, or just calling up people and talking to friends and everything. But when it comes down to business, take care of the business. Take care of business. When it's time to do the artwork for the books, do the artwork for the books. You feel a lot better in the long run. But when you're up here worrying about, well, I got to worry about whether or not I'm going to get written up for a job, or I have to worry about, well, is this family member going to feel better, or I have to take off of work to take, this family member over there for this type of appointment, or, oh no, we have another loss in the family and now I got to go and see about this, and this. That type of stuff do take a toll on you. But as they always say, this too shall pass, because it's only about time. Make good use of your time. You know, there is a if I could say in this aspect, on every tombstone there is a begin date and an end date, or a beginning year or an ending year. The thing about it is that people are only concerned about the ending year, and some people are concerned about the beginning years when they look them up, but nobody considered about that dash. What's going on in between? Try to make that in between the best that you can. You know, as I always say, it's like I always say, live life, grow, and be well, and that's the reason why I say it, because in order to make that dash mean something, you have to pretty much live life. You try to grow and be wise about what you do, and you try to be well and capable and happy. So, that's the reason why I say it in that aspect in my newsletters and all this other stuff. Speaking of newsletters, yes, we do have our Christmas graphics and New Year's graphics coming out on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So be looking forward to that here. The normal wallpaper for those who have been keeping up with the Christmas wallpapers and everything that we do each and every year, the freebie that we do. We got the Christmas ones together. I just have to finalize the the holiday greeting on each one of them, but the graphics is done. The graphic is done. I just haven't done the New Year's ones as of yet here. And I'm not saying if the New Year's one is going to have an actual preview to what's going on in the books or not as of yet. So I know the Christmas ones will not, because it's just pretty much kind of like the standard Christmas ones. But the New Year's ones, we try to give a little bit of a hit what might be coming down the pike here. Just like last year with Primetime Saturday Night, we made mention about the role-playing game here, and we're still trying to get the role-playing game out, but I gave you the update here. But there's something else that I might think about putting in that one to kind of introduce you to something else here. But nevertheless, it is what it is here. We're almost at the 1 hour mark here, and I don't see that there's too many people out here in the chat. Nobody came into the chat as of yet to say, hey, I'm here, let's go ahead and talk and everything. But outside of that, I think we're probably going to call it quits here, 45 minutes to an hour in. Let me get a quick little drink here. We will be back next week, like we always will. We still got more books coming in for new comic book pickups for the week here. Like I said, 2025 is going to be that rollback year. It's like everything's going to get rolled back as far as new comic books that's coming in. What's really going to be on my pull list for 2025 from that point forward. The collection. My comic book collection is going to get pretty much narrowed down to particular runs. Right now, I'm learning that I have like deep runs of like new Avengers, and all this other stuff that I've been cataloging as of late. I'm still looking for missing issues of my Marvel universe and DC's who's who in DC type stuff here. I know I have runs of that, and then getting all the different X-Men issues in its proper volume and all this other stuff. I mean, it's books upon books upon books upon books here. And I think I just finally crossed like the 10,000 mark on CLZ as far as all the stuff that I did catalog up to this point, and we're not even close to cataloging everything. So it's one of those things that it's just like, we got a decent collection. It's hard to manage, and especially when you go into the more preservation aspect of it, and you're trying to build it where it could be more at like a archive or a museum exhibit type deal. It goes a lot further than what most people would think about. It's not. That's one of the reasons why I have a problem with quick flip, because your older issues that you do try to sell off, those are going to be nowadays are going to be awfully harder to get them replaced. So that's one of the reasons why it's been hard. And then on top of that, with me approaching retirement and everything, I'm still trying to do the whole Volume 1 Wonder Woman type deal, but slowly but surely it's going to be like those older books to be purchased. It's going to be awfully hard pressed. I have to have like, major success in certain other things to be able to pull off some of those issues that I am missing here. But it is what it is here. And it's going to be one of those things that you have to take a look at it, understand why you're doing it as a whole, and that you're not looking at it for the monetary value, but you're looking at it from the standpoint of the world needs to be able to have at least one collection out there that has every last one of them. I know I'm not a completionist, and when I say every last one, I'm not talking about every last cover of like a series, but at least a full run where somebody could come back and be like, this person over here has every issue of this series, every issue of this, the whole run of this series. Not every issue, because people look at, well, you don't have this variant cover, or that variant cover, or that variant cover. But if you have 1 through like 524, you have the whole run. And if it is in raw condition, they could come back and read it. It would be archivable in that aspect. So that's the key thing here. I am a person that likes slabs only for preservation purposes. It's not the best, if I could say, means of protecting your book, but it's something a lot better than not having anything at all, especially when it comes to having things insured. And when I say having things insured, is that insurances love CGC, CBCS slabs over something like this. Something like this, they would not be able to get a good appraisal on, because it has not been graded, the condition has not been determined, and all this other stuff. It becomes more like what I see it versus how they see it, and because it's insured through them, how they see it is going to win out versus how I see it. So I might lose out on money in that aspect, especially if I pay like $200 for an issue and they only give me $50, because that's what their estimate is. So that's one of the reasons why I always, tell people who always want to argue against graded books. Graded books has their place, but I wouldn't live or die by them either. Just like I wouldn't live or die by raw books, or wouldn't live or die by trade paperbacks. You're going to have a mixture of it. You're going to have a mixture, and that's pretty much it. So on that note, people, we're going to end within the hour here. So I thank you guys for watching the show here. I thank those who are now watching us for the very first time, whether they are subscribed and everything here. I see that we picked up some new subscribers here. And yes, we are trying to get the channel back to where it was here, where we were where the old channel, we was, way further, way higher on subscribers. But because of a mishap with my alma mater and the fact that my email address got removed, I lost all those older videos, at least the greater majority of them. And the other places that they are archived at, I can't really gain them per se. But from where we took off from this year to now, we're going to do it bigger, better, and have more fun with it. So on that note, I wish you guys well for the rest of this Saturday. And yes, those on the East Coast, you're going to have a Saturday, because I'm not going to go into the second hour here. So as I always say, live life, grow, and be well. And I hope that you guys have a very safe and blessed holiday season here. We'll be back here next week. We'll have some more books to look over here. And hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed, that we will have some more artwork and stuff to show you too, as far as what we've been producing itself here. Since, like I said, I'm still sticking to the not doing the how he does it, or a lot of the draw and talk that a lot of people don't like, because they like the interaction that we have here with the chat and everything, with the regular talking about different things in geek culture here. So I'm leaving that off here. Those who are Patreon subscribers, I'm going to be putting out more content soon. I just haven't had the time to put it out there here. And there's just so much stuff to do, so little time. So it's time to get to it. Live life, grow, and be well. And I see you next week right here on From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. Bye.